Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Build a Life You Love podcast. I'm your host, Kaylyn McCarthy, and I am so excited to talk to you today. Oh my gosh, this podcast has been a long time coming. I've always wanted to create something, an outlet where I can just speak into people, encourage them to basically live their dreams, do the stuff they've always wanted to do without fear. So many people wake up every day not excited to live life. They're not excited to go to work. They're not excited to go hang out with their friends. Like, they're in circles that aren't meant for them. They're in relationships that are not meant for them. And this podcast is to encourage you to level up, because life is too short to live a life you hate and a life you dread. So that is my goal with this podcast, is to help you guys achieve your dreams, do the stuff you've always wanted to do, travel the world, explore new things, try a new hobby, because life is not worth something you hate. In this episode, we are going to talk about your circle, your friend group, your support group, and how important that is for your life, for just anything, whether it's the workplace, whether it's just your friendships, whether it's your relationships. Your circle is probably one of the most important things in life. It can either make or break you. It can either uplift you or you can bring it down. And it's important to, monthly, weekly, look at your relationships, look at the people who you spend the most time with and say, are these people who are making me the best version of myself? Are they bringing me up, or are they energy suckers? Listen, I've had my fair share of energy suckers. They're not the greatest, I'm gonna be honest. It's draining. You hang out with them and it's like you come home and you feel like you need a full-on reset because you just spent, it couldn't even be like that long of a time that you're spending with that person. And you come home and you're exhausted and you're like, why am I so exhausted? It's because they're draining you. They're literally sucking the life out of you because they know you have light. They know you have energy that they don't have. So they will take everything they can get from you. So you gotta watch out for them because they will manipulate you. They will make you think you're crazy. Not everybody needs to be your close friend. Not everybody needs to be inner circle. You have to protect your peace. You have to protect your energy. You have to protect your positivity. Because if you let a negative person bring you down, if you let a person energy suck everything out of you, you're going to have nothing left to give to the people who mean the most to you. Okay? Don't hang out with losers. Anyway, but yeah, you need to look at your circle. Be like, all right, is this relationship bringing me up or is it bringing me down? And that could be hard because it could be somebody you've been friends with for a very long time. You may start to feel adrift. You may start to feel a shift in their energy, in their mindset. And the thing is, you have to be so protective because, like I said, relationships either bring you up or they bring you down. And I don't know about you, but I want to live the best life possible. And I don't want to be surrounded by people who just don't get it, by people who don't understand what life is supposed to be about. They don't understand, they're negative. They complain. They criticize. They judge. They gossip. Let's talk about gossip. For God's sake, why are we gossiping? I know everybody loves to gossip. I know everybody likes to have the talk of the town. But is that really uplifting people? Is that really helping people? How about we take a minute and have compassion, and how about we say, okay, maybe they're just going through something. Everybody goes through something. Do we have to, invite the person who we have a problem with into our inner circle? No, but we can pray for them. We can be like, okay, they're probably going through something, but that doesn't mean I have to be besties with them. That doesn't mean I can allow them into my close relationships. It also says, if you want to know who you are, look at your friends around you. Look at the people you spend the most time with, because it really does affect your mindset. It really does affect your daily habits. I know even in my family, the way that I am is because of my parents, because I spent majority of my life spending time with them and understanding what the world is like, how I should be acting, how I should be behaving. My dad is so hardworking. He works out, and he has inspired me and influenced me in that way to be who I am today. And I wouldn't be where I am today without him. And it's the same way with friends. If you are friends with people who don't eat the healthiest, who, they have no work ethic, you're not going to want to have work ethic. You're not going to want to go to the gym because you're going to go by yourself. It's scary doing things alone. So if you really surround yourself with people who inspire you, who want you to be better, who they like create an environment that makes you a better you, you're gonna thrive. Say you do a daily audit or a weekly audit of like your friendships and your relationships, you're like, oh, okay, this person, like, they're kind of not being who they need to be. What do I do? And this has been a lesson for me in my life. Healthy boundaries. Like, I can't give all of myself away for people. And that has been a struggle because I am such a person to want to give so much to people and want to be everything for them. But in reality, I can't be everything for everybody. Like, only Jesus can be everything for everybody. I can only give as much as I love myself. And if there is a part where I start not pouring into myself as much as to other people, like, the love that I am giving isn't going to be as significant. I don't say this in a way where you have to cut these people off. I'm not saying it needs to be a big blow up, breakup, friendship, whatever. But you can say, like, oh, I'm just going to take a step back. Like, I don't need to be at every event. I don't need to be, getting lunch with them one-on-one. And if they ask, like, I think that's the hardest part, is like, they're gonna notice like you're taking a step back. Look, you can just tell them, like, I'm focusing on myself. I'm really prioritizing mental health, self-care, and right now I need to focus on pouring love into myself so I can pour out into others, which is true. Like, you are trying to elevate yourself and your mindset, live a life you love, and you want a circle that uplifts you and brings you to that point of, this is a life I have been waiting to live. This is a life that I've been wanting to live. It's okay to lose friends to, finally get to a place where you feel okay. And I mean, I've had plenty of friends in the past where, like, I thought that was going to be forever. I thought, through thick and thin, we were going to be besties for life. Like, but sometimes, and in the moment, you don't understand a friendship breakup, like, at all. You don't understand it. And you can ask the Lord, like, why did this happen? Like, they were so close to me. Every friendship breakup that I've had, later I've realized, like, this was for my own good. I have elevated more. I realize I'm on a different path than everybody else, and not everybody is along for the journey. That's the other thing. When you're working hard and you're truly working towards success, there's going to be people who you're close to who are not going to match that energy. It's just a part of the process, because as you grow and as you journey along to the highest version of you, you're going to find the people who are at that same level of success. And that's going to be even more rewarding as you lose friends. Like, as you lose friends, you'll also gain friends of, with the same mindset as you grow. Let's talk about breakups, like dating relationships. I think it can be hard. I mean, I've only dated... How many boyfriends have I had? 2? No, 3. I guess 3. In the past, I feel like I've kind of made excuses. With the romantic relationship I have had, I've kind of made excuses for the differences in mindset. I would try to accommodate and encourage the other person to kind of raise the bar, get to, I don't want to say my level, and I don't mean that in a cocky way, but I'm a very driven person, and it's a lonely path, I'm not going to lie, but it can be lonely. And I think when you truly love someone, you want them to shine and have the same mindset just as you. You want them to be encouraged. You want them to feel loved. You want them to be right where you're at mentally. They can't always reach it. Like, no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you pour into them, they may never reach that potential. And it can be very draining. Going back to the energy suckers, like, it can be very draining to always pour into that person, hoping they change. And then coming to find out you can't change a person, everybody's growth and change comes from within. It comes from God. So you can only do so much as a person of influence in their lives, but ultimately it comes down to them, which can be very tricky and hard. Everybody's not perfect, okay? Nobody's perfect. Not everybody is going to have great days all the time. So I think when it comes to dating relationships and discerning whether, like, this is a person who is uplifting me or bringing me down, you kind of have to ask yourself, like, how often is this happening? How did something happen recently that is, like, causing them to act in this manner? Like, what is their baseline? This is funny because, my family talks about like her baseline is crazy or her baseline is sad or depression or whatever. What is their baseline? Because if their baseline is pretty much negativity and it's always been negativity, like, it's time to go. And if your gut will know, honestly, your gut will know, the Holy Spirit will know if this person is for you or not. What's good about it is the Lord always has something on the other side of that exit door. Basically, don't surround yourself with losers. Like, don't give your energy to losers. Don't give your energy to complainers. Don't give your energy to people who don't want to see the best version of you. Don't give people who critique you in a negative way. Like, there's a difference between feedback and critical, bring you down negative energy. Because I feel like feedback is like, oh, what if you just tried this? Like, very encouraging. Like, being critical and like being a hater, it's like, no, you freaking suck. You can feel the energy and the force behind it. Like, if it's not led with peace and love and you don't feel at peace, it's probably not good. And I know this may seem like self-explanatory, but like, you don't really know this is all happening till it's like pointed out to you. You may be stuck in an abusive relationship. You may be stuck in abusive friendship, and then you wake up on your day like, holy crap, why did I let this person treat me this way? You get stuck with the same old patterns and habits and routines, and you get stuck in the same friend group, and you don't change because you're so used to it. And let me tell you, you don't need to be used to abuse. You don't need to get used to, complaining. You don't want to get used to discouragement or negativity. Don't get used to that. You deserve a friend group who supports you and loves you and encourages you and brings you to your highest self. You deserve friendships that pray for you, who go to church with you, who go work out with you, and you can get that. You don't need to be stuck with people who bring you down. You don't need to stay stuck in this relationship. You don't need to stay stuck in these friendships, because God has more for you. And I know He has more for you. And I'm living proof of that. If you have a negative workplace environment, please leave. It is not worth the money. Not worth the money. Go find something better. It's not just the job, it's the people who you work with. These are people who you're going to be seeing every day. If they're angry, if they hate their lives, it's going to make you want to hate your life too. Okay? And that's just not worth your time. That's not worth your time or your energy, and you know what? No workplace is perfect. So there is a little bit of discernment of knowing like when it's time to leave and when it's time to stay and when it's time to endure and kind of push through. But I will say, like, if you're working in a place that's pretty negative, if you have a boss who's negative, a manager who's negative, like, why would you want to work there? That's not fun. Like, pray for a job that is uplifting and encouraging and loving and comes from a place of hope and loving life. Like, you don't want to do business with somebody who freaking suck. Let's talk about healthy relationships. My best friend Paige is probably like one of the biggest blessings in my life. I think she is a good definition of like what it means to be a good friend. And I'm so happy the Lord brought us together because we truly needed each other. Like, whenever I need something, she's there for me. Whenever she needs something, I'm there for her. And it's truly a friendship. Like, we want the best for each other. We will support each other no matter what. And so, Paige, if you're watching this, thank you for being such a great friend. I love you. And I've never felt like I've had a sister like that. I think it's important to have people in your circle who you feel comfortable talking to about life with. Girlfriends are important. In fact, I almost think they're more important than romantic relationships, because your girlfriends are always going to be there for you no matter what. Like, I'm not supposed to believe in divorce, but I know it happens. And your girlfriends, no matter what, they're going to be through the divorce. They're going to be there for the divorce, the breakup, the whatever, the death. You don't want negative people in your circle when stuff like that happens. Okay. I also joined a new networking group called Empower Her Life, which I love. All the girls there are like the embodiment of what it means to have great community. A lot of them are entrepreneurs like me. A lot of them want to empower women and encourage them and push them to be the best versions of themselves. So I love that. If you are located in Louisiana, in the greater New Orleans area, they have a bunch of different chapters. You should definitely join. I know they have Slidell, the North Shore, New Orleans, and Baton Rouge. Homa. They might have Lafayette. Don't quote me on that though, but they have so many different chapters. You should check it out. It's fabulous women who push you to be the best versions of themselves. So shout out Empower Her Life, because I don't know where I would be without them. So in conclusion, don't date losers. Don't be friends with losers. Take evaluation of your circle, figure out who's draining your energy, figure out who uplifts you, and make some decisions. Figure out who you're taking a step back from. And I'm not saying cut people off. I talked about this. Don't cut people off, but like take a step back, because it's not worth, going to a friend group feeling judged for being you. Like, it's not worth that. You want to have a friend group that you love. You want a life that you love. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please subscribe, follow, do whatever you feel called to do. Leave a comment, what you liked, don't like. If this resonated with you, leave up your comments down below. And hopefully we'll have some more episodes soon. All right. I love you guys. I will talk to you soon.